Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Circle of the Earth Fellowship. Excited to be back. We took a little bit of break, but we're back in it doing some episodes. And so before we get into that, like we always like to do, let's go ahead and introduce everyone. And we'll start up with the top. Maggie, welcome, sister. Good to see you. Shabbat shalom. Y'all can't hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, I can hear you, but I can see Maggie's like I'm not. She's buffering.
Interesting. Okay, when
She's
she
kind of
comes
going in and
back,
out.
when she comes back, we'll let her say hi. We'll jump to Marsha for now. Hi, sister. How you been doing? It's been a couple weeks.
Yep. Hi, everybody. And just to let you know, I'm not gray anymore, am I?
No.
Tell me if this it gets crooked.
Tell me if there's lopsided.
Well, tell me if some of my gray starts popping through the cap.
Awesome. Well, can you hear us, Maggie? Will you give me a thumbs up if you can hear me? Can we hear you? Can you say hi?
Say hi.
No, we can't. I don't know. I don't think it's my side. Let me check real quick. Nope, you're not. You're good on my side. Not sure what's going on there.
Say something again.
I don't know. Let's keep it rolling though. Robert, welcome, brother. How you been doing these past couple weeks?
Doing good, doing good. Thank you. Little 2 week break there.
Yeah, it was nice. I got to work on a lot of stuff for the stream. Not done with it yet, but it's gonna be awesome when it is. So yeah, it was a nice little break from doing some streams. Though we did do a couple. I think we did one bonus stream where me and my wife talked about Christmas. So if you haven't checked that out, go check that out. But yeah, it was a nice little break from it. So sweet. And then we'll jump over to Kyle. Welcome, brother. Good to see you.
Well, good to see you guys. It was a good little break there. I don't know, it was edifying for myself at least.
Yeah.
We had the holidays and everything like that, but they get easier each year as we maybe stop practicing certain things and start practicing others.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely is. There's always going to be hiccups, definitely when it comes to family and friends, like people that you did celebrate those times when you were younger or whatever it is. And so that's still difficult, but it does make it easier and easier, like the kind of must be nice or feeling of wanting to do those things, lessons and lessons.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I loved Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
We had such huge get-togethers, and it was so much fun.
Yeah.
But I do not miss it now. I really don't.
Yeah.
I really don't.
And we kind of talked about that, how like those traditions, they feel good, they look good, they seem good. And I'm not saying everything's bad and everything's of the devil, but I'm saying like what we have now is like in no way, shape, or form can people claim, well, like the first Christians celebrated Christmas. It's like, yeah, you're talking about two completely different things. And so to kind of do that fallacy, that straw man where they're like, oh, the way they did it, it's interesting. But of course, for those that do celebrate Christmas, guys, we're not attacking you. We're not saying you're evil or you're pagan because you follow those or do those traditions. We're just saying maybe look into it, maybe kind of take a step back and see what Scripture has to say. And you can also look into the secular world and kind of trace the history of it. So, but yeah, sweet. And then last but not least, we got our dear brother Frankie B back with us. How you doing?
Good. Yeah, it's the holidays ain't what they used to be. I mean, it just lost its lackluster. You guys still celebrate New Year's?
Yeah, I kind of do because it's my daughter's birthday. So every time we celebrate her birthday, like there are New Year's celebration, but it's like, you know, I celebrate Thanksgiving, I celebrate 4th of July. Those aren't commanded, so it's like, you know, I'm not, as Owen Benjamin would say, I'm not a purity spiral, right? Like, I don't have to have everything perfect to be able to talk about my opinions or to be able to call out other things that I see are corrupt. It's, you know, it's like we do our best with what we have and where we are, so.
Yeah, I mean, and we really don't even know what year we're in, and we don't even know when the real New Year is. It's just like blah blah blah. It's not even a big deal anymore.
Yeah,
You know? I mean, I had to do things with the family, but you know, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the fellowship, the time together.
yeah, yeah,
But it
absolutely.
is a chore now. But you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I just hope everybody had a great break, great you know, time with the family, and let's get the show going, baby. Beast system.
Yep, 3.3
Yeah, baby.
3.0. So we're going to get into that, and we're going to actually start it out with scripture, but like always, let's go ahead and get some housekeeping done. Share my screen really quick. We'll go through that, and then we'll get into the show like we always do. I'm going to pull this big up for everyone. So first off, like I always like to do, I want to shout out Chris and Liz Bailey over on Taking the World. They give us the ability to come on in their community and share our puzzle pieces with their family, and so we always want to show our gratitude and appreciation to them for sharing their platform with us. And if you didn't know, we have our own we have our own YouTube, which is Circle of the Earth Fellowship. We're at 1,164 subscribers, so thank you to all those new subscribers. It's really helping it grow, and we really do appreciate it. And so let's go ahead. Unfortunately, Take on World, no love there on the comments, but 38 likes. Thank you so much for that. And then over on our channel, we actually got quite a bit. We got 1.2k views. So thanks, Sean, for coming on and joining us and bringing your crew to show us some support and love. So we got 23 comments, so I'm going to read these, which is pretty crazy. I think this is the most we've ever read. So thank you for those who support it. So it says, what happens to your faith when you find out the earth isn't flat? This is what Bill 8759 said. I said, what happened when I disapproved the purported R value of the heliocentric model personally through a long distance observation? I realized I can take ABBA at his word. Praise Yah that we can hang on all that he says. It says, well, you're either incorrect in your observation or lying about it. Take your pick, because every single long distance observation posted on YouTube gets destroyed. Did you post a video of your flat earth claim? Yeah, if you go back to season 1, I did a interview with Austin Witsit Gets It, where I showed that footage, and I can maybe what I should do is pull up that footage, edit it, put it together in its own little video. But I know what I saw. I'm not lying. I didn't do it wrong. I used the 8 inches per mile squared, which, even if you want to say it's incorrect, it works for at least, let's say, at least 1,000 miles, which is more. But even if it's at 1,000 miles, we can't even see that far anyway. So that measurement, that R value, again, disproves it all. So feel free to disagree and believe what you want. I just like to hang on the Father's words, and he definitely doesn't indicate that it is a ball, which he could have in Isaiah. He indicated that it's a circle in Isaiah 40:22. You look at Isaiah 22:18, he uses the word ball, which also can mean circle, and he chose not to have that word describe the earth. So yeah, use scripture. Anyways, and then Janice said, just stick with scripture. You can't go wrong. The earth is exactly hope y'all created it. Lots of verses in scripture that confirm it. Amen. Okay, it says, Callie said, who sings the song in the intro? That song is the band The Movement, and it's Life is a Circle. The intro song is actually another one of those songs, so I'm hoping they don't copyright that, but we'll see. And then Tyler said, man, that reggae song in the intro is fire. Who did that? And then just giving some more information about that. Also, check out Always With Me. I like that song. And Siren will be the song that will be the intro. So if you want to kind of sneak peek on that. Deep Hole said, so much gravy. I had my steak salted and completely naked tonight. If it pleases the compare and the panel, I'd like you all to elaborate on the term Vader used of divinely chosen and how you all see this in the scripture and your understanding of this term. Y'all want to comment to that? The term divinely chosen? I guess I'll start. I basically see divinely chosen as, well, we see it kind of in the book of life, right? Like whose names, we see a dichotomy between those whose names are not written in the book of life since the foundation, those who are blotted out. And so we really are, each individual of us are chosen by the Father, through the Holy Spirit, to take those scales off of our eyes, to have us seek truth in a way which will bring us ever closer to Him. And so those true seekers that continue to do so, we're obviously divinely chosen. And that's kind of a hard pill to swallow, right? When you look at other people that you love and you care about, and you say, well, why did He remove those scales off of me and not them? And why, when I try to share, why am I, attacked, or why am I looked at in this way? And it's really interesting. Anyone have thoughts?
Something I've thought about, it's not predestination, first off, but I believe a lot of it has to do with people that do have pray for people. And I had so many in my family line that were praying for me, and I was so adamant against it. And my brother-in-law said, "You watch, she'll be the first one." Sure enough, I was.
That's awesome.
But
yeah, when I was with my family, they found out I'm a flat earther, and they started coming at me. So I had a nice discussion with them, trying to open their eyes. But their eyes, they were like, "Oh, we're just gonna mock you." And I'm like, "You're gonna mock me? You're on a spinning globe, so I'm mocking you."
Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like you have to mock it, right? Like, yeah, at least for my experiences, I get a lot of people to the point where we're like, okay, well, even if it is, why does it matter, right? Like, it always goes to, why does it matter, whatever the shape it is? Like, God still created it, so why is this even...
What difference does it make?
Yeah, what difference
you
does
get
it
that
make?
a lot, yeah. My whole thing is, the real reason they're hiding it is because of the free energy that the realm dissipates. Tesla broke it down perfectly.
Yeah, I definitely think that's part of it, but I also think it's...
That's the main reason.
Lying to hide God.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they're
exactly.
lying to hide the free energy so they can use their oil, coal, gas, and nuclear, and not come up with any real solutions for clean and free energy.
Yeah, and of course they're not... They're not going to do it because they're not going to make money, but I would say even more, like, I think that's part of it. I think lots of parts of creation are hidden, right? Like, for instance, we're given astronomy out of, like these horoscopes that are just these generalities. But if you actually look into it and look at it as a map and realize these aren't specks of dust in an endless void, these aren't, small dots comparatively of light, that these are like things that were created on the fourth day and placed into the firmament, a whole bunch of it affecting us and the energy and the vibration. There's so many aspects, with evolution and stuff when it comes to that there's a lot of things, free energy being one of them for sure. All right, let's keep going so we can get into it. The Great Deception 2563 said John 16:2. Go check that out, people. Great discussion. I love Lighthouse UI. Can't wait for the release. Thanks for sharing, Sean. Yeah, we're super stoked. It should be coming out here pretty shortly, so be looking out for that. Yeah. Ella Faye said
Release?
it's sometime this month is their goal. I don't know the
What are they
exact day.
releasing? What
Lighthouse.
are they? Okay, cool.
Yeah. Ella Faye said, Vader Bear, this was another fun and informative discussion, especially with Sean in the house. Totally agree, sister. Zetetic West said, I have had a great Shabbat meetups over the last year. I was hesitant to reach out, so y'all sent people that would reach out to me, and now we have now we meet and talk regularly. Yeah, it's definitely important for us because like a lot of us are this niche of a niche of a niche, right? Like we're Christian, but we're not mainline Christian. We're, we're seekers of truth, but we're also, true earthers, and so we believe in the Bible, but we're Torah observant. And so like we've kind of painted ourselves into this place where it seems so lonely. So then when you get to actually meet someone who has a desire to be on the same path that you are currently on, it's a pretty awesome feeling to kind of share those and those actual physical hugs, and fist bumps. And so that's awesome, brother. Great blessing indeed. James King said, great topic and discussion. Thank you for your comment and your support. Excellent, brothers. To you as well. The Rummy, yes. I have no idea how to pronounce that. And then Hold the Front 77 said, if you guys need any help getting the virtual conference put on next year, I'd be honored to help anyway. That's to Sean. It looks like we got a volunteer to help that in any capacity. Sweet. All right, that's all the comments. Just a few last couple things. Oh, I didn't have that up just to show those comments. Thank you, everyone. It really does help the channel grow. So we got a Discord. That's where we're doing this live stream from. So if you're interested in joining the panel or joining the community, check out the link in the description below. You'll find that information. We also have a place where you can buy some merch. If you're interested in this, it supports the channel. We don't do YouTube. We don't do subscriptions. So if there's, you get something for your donation, and it helps, spread the channel to other people. So if you'd like to support, that's the best way to do it. And then just a quick few resources: Bible Gateway, Bible Hub, great resources. They have the lexicons, the concordances, all the different versions. So definitely check that out. And then I'd highly suggest sacredtext.com. And they have the Book of Enoch, Book of Jubilees, two highly important, as well as tons of other stuff that you should read, but read with discernment, and look up information about them. So sweet. All right, let's get rid of that. Go ahead and stop sharing, and we'll share the other part later. Sweet. All right, so let's kind of get into it. So guys, tonight we are going to be talking about AI. I labeled the video the Beast System 3.0. And from my perspective, thank you for just in time. Thank you for that subscription. We do appreciate it. I named it Beast System 3.0 because I think that if we kind of look at history, definitely use scripture as a great resource, we kind of see that there has been two world powers that has existed. Now, if we look at the Daniel with the Nebuchadnezzar, we need there's 7. So I'm not necessarily talking about world powers, empires themselves. I'm talking about a system where seemingly the whole world was under this particular power or control. And so if we look at the pre-Diluvian, before the flood, we have so many indications, not only through secular history, mythology, lore, etc., of quite epic events happening, wars, cities, technologies. And you can go back in our past videos where we kind of talked about that, but we see that definitely existed. We have rumors, example like Atlantis, these highly sophisticated cities that seemingly were pre-flood. We have things like the world wonders, the Egyptian pyramids, things that this day we cannot recreate. We got the monoliths from Baalbek, Iraq, right? Stones that are quarried in right angles that no machine that we have today can pick up. And so there's all these kind of signs and indicators saying, there was some type of world power. And we see that, if you kind of look through, like the Iliad, the Odyssey, you see this type of system kind of set up, though it's from, the Greek perspective of their pantheon of gods. And so kind of skipping forward, we talked about this a lot last season, was Nimrod and his power through Babel. And we see even through scripture that this man was able to get to a point where the father had to intervene in the situation to stop what was going to happen. And we can speculate on what that was going to happen, but we can see that this tower and its size and its enormity and how that would take lots of group of people to really make that happen. And then we kind of jumping forward to talking about secret societies and stuff like that, we can see that all these different mystery religions, though they vary from culture and expression, artistic creations, we see that generally they have this central figure often associated with the sun, that is kind of their pinnacle when it comes to their theology. And so connecting that back to Nimrod and the separation of the languages and the tribes, and them kind of congregating back to their original places, we can kind of see the formation and then the destruction of that second world order. And so a lot of people within the conspiracy theory, time now like to, have brought up, and, we've seen it been quoted about the New World Order. And I think the New World Order is actually a pretty good term, because it is new, as in it's a new order of the world. But the idea is not new. And we know that through scripture, right? There's nothing new under the sun. So groups of men and powers that be have tried to bring about a new world order in their various times throughout history. And so I say all that to get to where we are now, where just a couple decades ago, right? Most people had just phones in their houses. That quickly evolved into us having phones on the go, and then phones shifted into now we have computers on the go. Just so happens that these computers are hundreds of times stronger than the lunar lander, but I digress. And we've seen that kind of with technology, like those who were alive during the kind of startup of the internet. It was such a long process, and now we click a button and boom, full on videos are loaded instantly for us. When it would take, quite a significant more time before just to open up one website or to do one search. And so we've kind of seen that grow, and we can see it through video games, right? Look at the graphics, from the 80s compared to now, and we see these leaps and bounds. And so
Moore's law.
Moore's law, right? It kept duplicating and duplicating, getting better and better and better. And we're seemingly kind of coming to a crossroads, to a precipice where, there's all this talk about, various parts of how AI is going to affect our lives and affect our future, and what it means to live on this earth. And we're going to get into that. But before we do, I want to share a couple scriptures. Oops, wrong button. I want to share a couple scriptures that kind of sets the mood, the mood correctly. Oh yeah, floppy, right? We went from floppy to where now we have, a little. How much does that have on it right there?
So what is this one again? We're talking megabytes and kilobytes.
Right, and then we have a little thumb drive that has hundreds of times more,
Yes.
memory on it than that big old floppy disk. Right, and we saw in the 40s, like through history, right, that the computers were warehouse sized. and now our computers are phone sized. So we've seen all this upgrade, and we get to AI, and real quick before we get that, I think, and we'll kind of get into this, is the entertainment, guys. Think about how much entertainment that we've been consuming over the past handful of decades, where you got Terminator, you got 2001: A Space Odyssey with HAL, you got Lost in Space, right, where the robot AI, you got iRobot. You have all of these examples of this idea, this narrative that they're circling around within the mind of the populace. And as we've seen in the past, and we will see in the future, that there's a program going on to get people assimilated to an idea, almost like Inception, right, where they believe they got the idea because they absorbed all this entertainment about that topic.
Yeah.
So
I that bringing that up, we had Star Trek, and they had the communicators. Being that we're living on a flat Earth with a globe, with a dome, and the ether frequency travels over the ether, I think they knew that they could do cell phones, and they could talk over a wireless system because signals travel over the ether. And they knew that before the cell phones even came out.
Oh yeah, bro. And Pokemon, the first one coming out, they had video chats. Like when they made a phone call, they saw a video of the other person talking. And as a child, I was like, that's insane. How are they ever going to do that? And then now, right, like you can do it from your cell phone. You can do it from
exactly
all these different devices.
What I think it was the first Avatar where they had the computers where they could pull up a screen, and even Iron Man where they could pull up a screen with their finger and move it all around like we can do with Windows. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yep.
And it was on glass in Avatar where all the computers were on glass. We'll actually probably have that.
Yeah, we're actually getting pretty close to that, believe it or not. That will be consumer level electronics very shortly, within the decade, I would guess. But yeah, so let's read a couple scriptures here real quick before we kind of get into it. Because guys, one of the things I want to really express is, though that this AI, it's a real thing. And there's definitely some dark aspects to it. Again, greater is he who is in the world, who is in us, than he who is in the world. And so again, it's like, why fear those who can just destroy the body, but that who can destroy the body and the soul? So we don't need to have fear. We need to recognize, we need to be watchers on the wall, seeing these things happen, right? Like the farmer looking at the plants to see when they're going to sprout soon, right? Because then he knows he's got to start his process of cultivation. We got to see these things and know what's going on, so we don't perish for a lack of knowledge. And so we're just all people kind of sharing our opinions and things that we think are interesting, from videos to articles. And so let's get into it. But before we do, again, let's read a couple scriptures. So I'm going to start here. This is Psalms 115, and I'm going to start here in 4. Their idols are silver and gold, the works of men's hands. They have mouths, but they speak not. Eyes have they, but they see not. They have ears, but they hear not. Noses have they, but they smell not. They have hands, but they handle not. Feet have they, but they walk not. Neither speak they through their throat. They that make them are like unto them. So is every one that trusteth in them. O Israel, trust thou in the Lord. He is their help and their shield. Let's get to that in just a second. I want to read Revelation, and then this is Revelation 13. We're going to start here at 12. And then we'll kind of go back to Psalm. So it said, and he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, and causes the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from the heaven on earth in the sight of men, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by a sword and did live. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save that he had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. So going back to Psalms, right, where it says, and he had given life unto the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, right, and cause people to do something. So jumping back to Psalms, right, they have mouths, but they speak not. And so if we look at this, these people, and it says, and he had power to give life unto the image, okay, and that the first beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast, and what beast? The beast that had the wound by a sword and did live. And so the people seemingly make this thing in which then the beast, the first beast that had the deadly wound that was healed, had the power to give life to the image of the beast, that it should speak. So this is something that didn't have life. It's something that was given life. And when it was given life, it was able to speak. So I believe that they are trying to mock God by making these very things untrue. They are making an idol of silver and gold, which is two highly important components within electrical equipment, and we see that they have mouths but not speak, right? Like we can see so easily now that these are connected, and that they want to make an idol, they want to make a god unto themselves, so much that they're going to make this, knowing that it, in my opinion, knowing that it is going to enslave people. It's going to cause, right, what is this thing? And it's going to cause all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive the mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And one little thing, this is from my point of view, is that's why when people are saying, oh, the jab, it's the mark, oh, the RFID chip, that's the mark, what we see is things starting to bud, right? They haven't budded yet where this is in our everyday life, but we see articles where people are willingly getting chips in their hand so that they can scan their computer to get into it. They can scan their hand to pay for food and groceries, right? So we see rumblings of this kind of idea, but it's not fully here. And why isn't it not here? Because we need the first beast here. And again, I believe that's Revelation 9, the beast coming, 9:11, the beast coming out of the pit. He's named. We can track those names. We know who that man is and where he's coming from, as from scriptures. And so we're at this point, right, where we don't have him here yet. But again, we see all these rumblings of AI. And so I don't know. What do y'all think about the scriptures that I'm showing and how they kind of connect to AI? Go ahead, Frankie.
Yeah, it reminds me of Terminator the way you're talking, like how he was a superhuman and he controlled everything, and they took over the whole realm. And it just reminds me of that, the way you're talking. Because
Yeah,
I have a preterist view, and I believe all
totally.
that already happened. So,
Yeah,
and the
totally.
beast system was just doing the law. So, but I indulge you guys, so I enjoy it.
Yeah, well, it is interesting at the very least, and kind of going back to the entertainment, is we've kind of been fed these ideas for a while, right? Like, even to the point where, like, for instance, in iRobot, where the AI is only doing these things, these draconian, tyrannical things, to protect humans, right? Because humans are savages, humans are murderers, right? So we have to control humans,
Protect us from ourselves.
right? Or you have kind of like the Matrix view of it, right? Where we're actually, like the war has already been lost and we're in this Matrix where we think we're in reality, but in reality we're just in these, farming pods. And so you kind of have that aspect where, right, the AI already won. And if you go into the Animatrix, you can kind of see what it built up to, what the first was, like what happened to cause the war between the two, and you see robots getting treated certain ways. And I don't know if y'all have seen this, but they have like the Boston Dynamic robot dogs, where people are kicking them, and they're like, "Man, you shouldn't be kicking them." It's like that program is kind of kicking up in the background, where they're like, "Man, maybe we shouldn't be treating these robots because we don't know when they're gonna turn on us." And
Right.
And so let's start sharing some of the videos and articles we got. Jumping real quick, did y'all see that Elon Musk recalled all the Teslas? Did y'all see that? So he recalled like something like 2.3 million Teslas,
Yes.
because of issues with the self-driving, the autopilot feature. You know what's actually kind of interesting, that to me, kind of talking about AI, is in the that new movie that recently came out on Netflix with the whole and having the Teslas crash. I almost wonder if Elon was like, "Oh, I see what y'all's plan is," and kind of that's why he recalled them, to change it so that they can't do something like that. I don't know if y'all know what I'm talking about, but
Repeat that last thing. He recalled them. What do they want to do with the cars?
they want to update the autopilot feature.
So what can they do with the autopilot feature?
Well, so in the movie, what is it? Does anyone know what it's called?
It's on Netflix. Something the end of the world.
Something like Nothing to Go Back to, or
Leave the world behind.
Leave the world behind. That's it.
Leaves the World Behind.
Yeah.
There's a part in that movie where basically the whoever does it gets all the Teslas to crash on all the highways, to just jumble up so no one can use the highways, the roads, because they're all blocked by the Teslas that they can control to crash. Leave the World Behind. Yeah. Thank you guys. I haven't checked it out. I need to check it.
They can hack into them systems and cause havoc then.
Yeah,
Right.
and so I think it's kind of interesting.
Assassinate you, or
send you off a cliff, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And so it's just interesting timing from when that movie came out to then Elon recalling 2.3 million vehicles to go. Like, that's going to cost him a lot of money to bring in all those vehicles and spend that time.
He's got so much money.
Well, I know, but I'm just still like, it's kind of interesting.
It's not even his money, so he don't care.
Sweet. So, we got as you see a ton of things here. So let's start on them. Let's start off with this one. So happens to be about with Elon Musk and what he's kind of trying to do with it. So we got a 2 minute 30. So we're gonna pull this up and check it out. Make this a little bigger. Give me a full screen, please. There we go.
My previous company was D-Wave. I'll just show you a couple things. We build what are still the world's only quantum computers that you can buy. D-Wave builds quantum computers. The way that they work, if you know how this works, is one of the interpretations is that you tap into these parallel universes and they do computations. One of the guys who talks about this is Elon, who says things like this, like, when you do this, beware, because you think, just like the guy in the stories, that when you do this, you're going to put that little guy in a pentagram, and you're going to have your holy water out, and you're going to wave it at the thing, and by God, it's going to do exactly what you say and not one thing more, but it never works out that way. So this is an attitude that some are having, this emerging alarmism about the way this is going to go. But these words, demons, doesn't capture the essence of what's happening here. I don't know if any of you are turn-of-the-century weird fiction fans, but there's this guy named H.P. Lovecraft, who's a very famous American weird fiction author. And he espoused a view which is called cosmicism. And the essence of cosmicism is cosmic indifference. So what he was saying is basically, yes, there are these massively intelligent entities out there, but they're not good, they're not evil. They just don't give a shit about you even in the slightest.
Weak words.
The same way that you don't care about an ant is the same way they're not going to care about you. And these things that we're summoning into the world now are not demons, they're not evil, but they're more like the Lovecraftian great old ones. There are entities that are not necessarily going to be aligned with what we want. So this transition is really, really massively important for our entire species to navigate. And going back to that thing that Sam Harris was saying, nobody is paying attention. This thing is happening in...
I'm going to pause it real quick. I love the point that you're kind of pointing out here, Kyle, about the connection with the H.P. Lovecraft and that whole kind of thing. Because what's interesting about that is people kind of attribute those ideas to H.P. Lovecraft when he was really just drawing on mystery religions and actual ancient knowledge about these dark entities. Now he's saying, no, they're not demons. They're this other...
They're not evil.
Yeah,
right.
They're not evil.
Yeah, well, right.
Go ahead.
They're just other cosmic entities that exist in the foreground or the background of reality. And that, the way for them to tap into our reality is through our technology or whatever they're saying it. But to me, from my understanding, the way using the pentagram and the terminology with the demonology is that these are already existing entities that aren't made by mankind, but perhaps are given, a way to glimpse into our world by mankind.
Well, and it's kind of interesting what he's saying here, right? Because he's not denying the existence of these entities. What he is saying is that they're real, but they're not what you think, that like the common idea that they're demons, they're evil, etc. And what's so interesting about that is this is because those in the mystery religions, right? They don't deny that God exists. They're just more infatuated with the other gods, right? They don't deny Yall's existence, though they may hate him. They realize his existence, right? In one form or another, whether they kind of put their own interpretive spin on the idea. But real quick, does anyone notice anything about this video?
The Aurora Borealis?
Yeah, the Ouroboros around right here. You got the serpent
Ouroboros,
eating,
yeah, that's it.
the serpent eating itself. And that is, this is a tech, right? This has nothing to do, seemingly with spiritual, right? This is just computers and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, even though he's talking about demons and these entities, he's talking from a metaphorical stage.
Well, even kindred.
Yeah, but please,
kindred spirits.
Yeah, but please ignore the openly occult symbols that we're using as our logo.
got the pentagram, or I mean the hexagon
Yeah.
behind him.
Oh yeah. So very interesting. All right, let's finish this and we'll keep trucking.
In the background, while people bicker about politics and what's going to be in the healthcare plan in the U.S., and underneath it all is this rising tsunami that, if we're not careful, is going to wipe us all out.
Interesting. So yeah, good little video there. Let's jump to the next one and watch this one.
So that's what we're talking about here, is a complete and utter transformative change that of the likes of which has never been seen before in the history of humanity, making the Industrial Revolution look like a little tiny blip on the path that humans have taken from when we emerged from the ooze a few billion years ago. We are right on the verge of that transition now. So this guy, Rich Sutton, is one of the most famous people in the academic world of AI. And like many, when asked, when will this happen, he says things like this. 25% chance within 13 years of this thing that I'm talking about. You know, when you think about what you read on the news, you know, CNN, BuzzFeed, whatever, they're all kind of the same nowadays. Think about how unimportant that thing is that you're reading if this is true. Yeah? So what does this have to do with aliens? So Sam Harris, who I quite admire, is a very interesting guy.
Sam Harris is not an interesting guy. Sam Harris is a nihilistic psychopath, in my opinion. That guy's insane. But yeah, we really are on the precipice, guys, like of this change, and we don't really know how it's going to pan out. We do know, right? Like, one thing that I always lean on and gives me comfort is, as big as they swing for, you know, for the fences when it comes to these ideas and them trying to bring in this new world order 3.0, there's often, you know, recoil from that. And we saw through the whole beer bug fiasco, right, that people who were pro-jab, you know, started backpedaling and kind of taking a step back and looking at the full picture. And that produced a lot of anti-jab people through the group effort all across the face of the earth that was pushed to make this a relevant, you know, trend. And obviously it was for 2 years. But, you know, there was pushback. There was blowback from them running that operation where a lot of people woke up because of it. Oh, my camera shut off for some reason.
Yeah, it was more detrimental to them than they thought it would be. A lot more people woke up than they thought.
Oh, yeah. And so I think the same thing will happen with AI. We're going to have a lot of people waking up to the system, and they're going to start wanting to disconnect with the system even more. You know, as they're trying to push for an all electronical life, right, where everything we do and say is all, you know, recorded and analyzed by, you know, AI. They're trying, we talked last episode, full episode about currency, right, and their push for central bank digital currencies. And of course, all this has together, right? Because they're trying to get rid of the middleman, but they need a middleman for the system to really work in the way that they have. But it can't just be one man, right? And so I feel like AI is going to take a huge part of that. And we even seen kind of Elon Musk talk about that AI is going to lead to a loss of a lot of work, right? A lot of these factories, things that can be done by robots, are slowly going to get replaced. But then at the same time, guys, they're not going to be able to replace, you know, people putting up drywall and people hammering in nails and people installing, you know, plumbing, right? Like, they're not.
Technically, I saw a video of a robot putting up drywall, but I'll say there are a lot of trades that robots won't be able to do.
Yeah.
And even if they could do it, there's no way you could just replace the necessary manpower that's needed to do all of these trades for man to go on.
Yeah. Yeah, and so could they change up the way that we build, and then that be a reason? So yeah, nothing's foolproof, nothing's for certain. But what I will say is that again, every time they try to push something, there's always blowback. There's always by them revealing their cards, it naturally wakes people up where they were asleep before, and so we can always have hope in that. Sweet. All right, let's keep trucking along. We got this 60-minute interview that was shared by you, Robert, correct? Yeah. Do you remember what time this was at?
Oh, the timestamp? Oh,
If not,
no,
I
I
can
don't.
probably bring it up. Okay, give me a second.
I think I put it in.
Did you put a timestamp in it?
I thought I wrote it down on the thing. I don't know.
I've got the episode list up. Let's see. Where's your name, Robert?
Thank you for your patience, people. We're just trying to figure out. I thought I had it up, but I don't.
Yeah, all this stuff is just distraction. They're just trying to get people in negative thought patterns, fear. Because when you're in those negative thought patterns and fear, you can't create. And they don't want us to create an abundant life for ourselves. So all these things are just a distraction, a smoke screen.
I agree with you at times.
Yes.
I agree and disagree.
Yeah,
Because, yeah.
Go ahead, Marcia.
Well, it's just that these things are happening, and it's not just a distraction. They are going to use things on us. You know, I mean.
Yeah, well, you have the power to believe it or not. And the more people that disengage from the media and all the hype and all the talk, the less power they have.
That's true, but right, they still have that power, and regardless of whether we believe it or have knowledge of it, right, they're still trucking along. Like they're still creating movie scripts with AI, right?
Well,
like we have so much data that we can feed them, like electronic data in table sets that we can feed them, that AI is real, guys. Like I can show y'all the like incredible things that it does, and it's pretty ridiculous. From chat GPT to text to AI text to image generators, there is a lot of power behind these systems. No doubt about it.
But if you know who you are and who created you, you can't be stopped.
Yeah, no, I don't have fear of the system. I'm not trying to induce fear. I think people should not have fear of the system because, again, greater is he who is in us than who is in the world. But I still think we need to be knowledgeable and have an understanding of these systems and how they're trying to be implemented within the society, because they are going to affect our lives. It is going to be a quote unquote industrial revelation where they're going to be opening it up where they're like, hey, we've solved so many problems that would usually cost us all this money, where we can start passing that money off to the society, and then we'll get this universal basic income, right? Which is going to be an incentive to it's not going to be the image of the beast right away, the mark of the beast right away. We can kind of see that they have to slowly implement parts of this system, of this beast system 3.0, as to be accepted. Because if they all of a sudden said, hey, every single thing that you do, and right, like when they put out cell phones, they weren't like, hey guys, eventually we're going to be able to hear what you say and advertise to you things that you didn't even know you wanted yet. People wouldn't have, moved with it. So it's just slowly, but like to me, Apple Watches and that kind of idea, I'm not throwing stones, but that idea of having it now, it's not just on your person, it's attached to you at all times, and it's on a wrist, right? Like that is eerily creeping closer and closer and closer to what we see in scripture. So yeah, don't be afraid. Yes, a lot of this stuff is the distraction, as in It's also entertainment for people, because a lot of people, like I've met, I'm like, dude, they would love to have an AI controlled life, right? Where it tells them where to go, what to do. You know, they'll ask AI, how do I make money? What's the best use of this $5,000? What should I do with it to make my most return? Where now people aren't sitting there writing a book. They're feeding an information to an AI and clicking generate, and that AI from that, you know, few sentences is creating a whole chapter, right? So people are definitely feeding into the system, but what is it going to happen, right? Like, where's the highest it can go? Well, the highest it's going to go is where the system has been so convoluted that the AI starts smelling its own farts, where it starts generating stuff based upon its own generation, right? And then it's going to start deteriorating. So I don't think that AI is this. They've got the system. They're gonna get us. I don't see it as that yet, and a lot because of, you know, my eschatological view. Until we know that's all this stuff is not going to happen until Revelation 9, until we see the locusts and that whole first woe takes place. But yeah, it's interesting. Did we find a time?
Around 9:20 is
Yeah,
where
9:20.
he's supposed to demonstrate
These people
the chat GTP.
Okay.
Yeah, these people that are coming up with all these ideas, they're really out of their minds. Like Cal Schwab says, we're gonna own nothing and be happy. Ain't nobody going for that. I mean, the sheep will always be sheep, but there's more goats out there, and I don't mean goats like in the Bible term, but there's more against them than there is for them, and they always fluff the numbers.
Yeah, and as they push it, right?
Like our president. If you really think that he was voted in, you're wrong, because the numbers.
Hey, let's not talk.
They can't talk about that.
Yeah, bro. All right, let's no, it's all good. Let's check out this video and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
And planning. This is what he typed into Chat GPT-4.
I'm gonna pause it real quick. It says the room in my house are painted blue or white or yellow. Yellow paint fades to white within a year. In 2 years' time, I want them all to be white. What should I do and why? So what he question that he talk about that. So he is insinuating that it has consciousness, right? So to be able to understand, you had to have a form of consciousness. Now, I'd like to get y'all's opinions about this, because I just see it as data input. You know, they feed it tables of information, and it uses that information to make a general, you know, macro level idea of what it is. Though, right, I already used the scripture, right, where they're trying to give the image of the beast, you know, that the image of the beast is given life. So, you know, I'm not taking that back. And I even think that the locus of Revelation 9 are biomechanical vassals for unclean spirits. So I'm not saying, in no way, shape, or form am I saying spirits cannot inhabit it. Do y'all think that's now? Do you think that they've already got to the point where these chat GPTs are indeed, you know, have demons or unclean spirits attached to them? Or do you think that's still a goal that they're progressing towards? Thoughts?
I don't think they already have that myself, but I definitely think that there's enough information that they have in their data to give people the heebie-jeebies on that, to make them think that.
To mimic the behavior.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's very possible that they at least have the capability to do that, but I still think with how sloppy all the AI are in their essays and everything, that all the code it writes, and that there's more of a computer technical part to that being done than there actually is some type of spirit, ghost in the machine. Although I do think it's coming to that. Where that line is drawn, and how exactly you draw that line, and how you would even know, that's beyond me.
So for me, I feel like that line personally won't be crossed until Revelation 9 happens. So I know I always come back to that. But if I was wrong on that case, I think it would be very evident. I think if they actually had unclean spirits with the knowledge base that they have actually within these machines, I think its uses would not be limited to text to AI image generation to chat bots, right? We would be seeing quick changes, that would be seemingly good. Like, oh, boom, the AI figured out free electricity, and it's gonna just do it, right? So yeah, I don't think that they're there personally, but I think that they're maybe in limited ways they're there. But I think they're trucking along, trying to at the very least.
Yeah, maybe something slips out every now and then and is able to kind of breach other areas, but I don't think that there's just an onslaught of demons constantly tapped into all of our devices all the time and using them. I think that's what they're trying to get it to be able to do so they can put it in you, but
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's check out this article that Robert shared with us. It says Hong Kong to use AI against superbugs and antibiotics over prescription. It says the beer bug pandemic significantly increased broad spectrum antibiotic prescriptions, leading to antibiotic resistance development within superbugs. So it says a significant number of isolation wards were allocated to beer bug patients, leaving fewer wards available with those infected with MDROs. This is according to a November 24 South China Morning Post report citing the authority. The increase in the prevalence of multi-drug resistant organisms or superbugs on the island occurred due to redistribution of resources aimed at combating the beer bug pandemic over the past 3 years. Dr. Raymond Lai, the authority chief infection control officer, told journalists, we already read that, the the beer bug pandemic also significantly increased broad spectrum antibiotic prescriptions, leading to antibiotic resistance development within superbugs. Let's kind of jump down to where it talks about to combat this problem in January 2024. The hospital authority will launch an AI pilot at the Prince of Wales Hospital in Shai Tin and Princess Margaret Hospital in Kwai Chung. The AI will analyze clinical data to determine the necessity of prescribing antibiotics. It will start from a single popular type of antibiotic and then expand to 8 other types in 17 public hospitals. This isn't the first time AI has been used to combat the problem of antibiotic resistance. In May 2023, AI helped Massachusetts Institute of Technology and McMaster University researchers identify a new antibiotic that could kill a bacteria responsible for many drug-resistant infections. Acetone beta, whatever, I can't pronounce that. So yeah, like we see them creeping into this, right? And that kind of goes to doctors, right? If we start seeing these computers not necessarily doing it, legitly, but are able to get these symptoms, put it into this database where you don't need a human to try to remember all of that information that they learned through their multi years at med school. You can just input the symptoms, the information into a database, into an AI, where it has looked at all this clinical data and can determine with probably a high success rate of what the issue is and how to correct it. And so a lot of these parts where AI is going to be introduced into the society is definitely going to be introduced first through a, like, why wouldn't you want this? Why wouldn't you want to have a computer do it where it's not going to make a mistake? Kind of ideas surfacing through those various industries. Pretty crazy, right?
yeah, Yeah, and they already have, there's that side of it where it's basically your doctor, but then it's also your surgeon. They
Uh-huh.
have the automated, surgery computers helped but with AI, and it's already going down that road to where these are the things that are going to take care of you in the future, is what it looks like.
Yep. Yep,
Take
and
care of
how much
Mhm.
cheaper it is, right? Instead of paying a doctor, hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, you have an AI that doesn't sleep, that doesn't need to get rest, that isn't going to make a mistake, right? From their perspective, how they're selling it. So, yeah,
And if you've been wearing your watch all along like a good boy and been telling the hospital people what's going on with your health and your history, all the better that they will be able to figure out what's for you when you are sick.
and the
And you might
problem
not even have
though,
to do that. They'll just push a little button and they'll inject something that's already inside you.
yeah. Yeah, but the trouble with having a watch is that you can lose it, it can fall off, it can get damaged. So why not just like put it into our body itself, like or in our brain or in our hand, then we'll never lose it.
Yeah, we
Can't be
use
stolen
our
either.
own body's electronics to power it.
Yeah, people won't be able to steal it either. So, and you'll never lose it. So,
Yeah.
makes
Yeah.
sense.
Sweet. All right, let's keep trucking. We got this very weird Brave New World. This is from Days of Noah. Let's check out this video and see. What does this say?
The medical revolution is in full swing. All fields of medicine are changing, improving, renewing. The past year showed us that the growing need for innovative technologies used in developing more precise, personalized medicines and treatments is already becoming reality. Among the leaders of this revolution is Israel.
The Israeli high-tech environment is one.
How dare you? Are we being anti-Semitic right now by playing this video? Okay, no. Okay, I'll keep going.
One of the leading environments or ecosystems that can enable this.
We have some of the best scientists in the world.
People think outside the box and look for creative solutions to problems.
Yes, Israel is an international center of innovation with groundbreaking technologies.
Wait. Did she just say Israel is a sinner?
Israel is an international center of innovation.
They're an
with
international
groundbreaking
center
technologies
of innovation.
in health, in cyber, in smart transportation, and
Oh my God! That lag that it gives me. She literally said Israel is a sinner in innovation.
alternative energy. Israeli innovation in the field of personalized medicine combines biology and engineering. It's called bioconvergence. What exactly is bioconvergence?
Biomics is the only clinical stage phage company out there that targets chronic indication. We deploy phage, which are viruses that infect specific bacteria.
NanoRetina developed a small camera that is implanted inside a patient's eye.
Did they just say they create phages with viruses? Kind of sounds like I Am Legend, right? Where they take that virus, they change it to help us, right? Let me
Make it do
inject
something good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God! All right, let's watch it a little bit
Our
longer.
technology translates light and optical signals into electrical pulses that enables vision to the patient.
The technology that we have developed is under the title bioconvergence.
We have chemistry, engineering, biology, immunology.
Precise Bio biofabricates tissues from human cells. We take 3D printing and we combine this together with the biology, which essentially brings us the capability to fabricate the tissue in the same anatomical structure as it is in the human body.
And this is just the tip of the iceberg. Because when you're able to collaborate with multidisciplinary capabilities like ICT, big data, machine learning, and artificial intelligence, then you can create integrative, creative, and innovative medical solutions.
The Israel Innovation Authority creates national and international networks.
All right, who's ready for a brain chip?
Yep.
This is a long video. It is lagging, but yeah, you can see they're proudly proclaiming the greatness of introducing all of these different forms, artificial intelligence, machine learning,
and provide with funding to initiate projects.
With biology and engineering, right? And it was funny, they're like biology, engineering, bioconvergence. And it's like, wait, wouldn't that be bio and convergence?
Bioengine, yeah.
Like bio into convergence. I just thought that was kind of silly.
Resistance is futile.
Resistance is futile. We are Borg. All your base are belong to us. Sweet. All right, let's see what this is about the restaurants.
What sort of jobs would be lost to AI?
Basically chauffeurs, truck drivers, and many jobs that seem a little bit complex.
I'm going to have to kind of break this up because of the music in the background. It's probably going to get copyright. So I apologize. I know it's a short, but I got to break it up.
Chef, waiter, a lot of things will become automated.
So he's talking about a lot of these things, and it's interesting, right? I feel like service is the safest outside of big box, like McDonald's. Of course, they're going to go eventually to, because just think like from a business, like step back, not seeing AI as, bad or robots as bad. But it's like, how many times do you get angry, for those that still do order fast food, when they get it wrong, right? Like, wouldn't you rather have your order always right? So they use all of these inconveniences that technology kind of create and use them as the antithesis to push more disruptive technologies into the group. And so he's sitting here saying, it's a lot of jobs. All these jobs are going to be eliminated, and let's finish this video off though.
We'll have automated stores, automated restaurants, and altogether in 15 years, that's going to displace about 40% of jobs in the world.
So 40%, like that's his guess. We'll kind of see whether that's true in 15 years, but I don't know. I when I think about it and all the jobs that it seems like they couldn't replace, I could be obviously looking at it from the incorrect angle where it's totally possible and probable, but interesting. All right, let's finish this up and see what he says.
40% of jobs in the world will be displaced by technology.
I would say displaceable.
What sort of job?
Wow. Yeah, what are y'all's thoughts? Like, where do y'all see kind of issues with technology, AI, robots not being able to take over?
Well, I know as far as the job displacement, we just shipped out, we did a shipment Friday that had to be a nonstop. It was a nasty chemical gas that had to be shipped nonstop. So the truck had two drivers, a sleeper cab, and so they had to go straight to where they had to deliver it to. And so if that was a automated truck, you probably still need to have an attendant, but just one person to just do the paperwork once they arrive to the stop. So you eliminated right there, you eliminated one job there. I mean, that's just one example.
Yeah. What are your thoughts, Marcia? If you got any that you'd like to share.
I don't have a thought.
No worries. Sweet. All right. Well, let's jump over to the next one, and it looks like we got an article about Sophia, which is really interesting if you look into the connection with the god Sophia. But we'll kind of leave that for another. Of course, they always, like, in all these different technology fields, right? Don't they just love invoking the names of gods and deities and idols of worship?
Yeah.
That is something that I know it's a long thing that I sent to Karen C, but she broke down so many of those of those gods and
Uh-huh.
everything, the AI.
I have that up. We'll show that at the end, and then I'll put a link for those that want to check that.
Yeah, link for it because it's in depth.
Yeah. So let's read this real quick. Sophia, Hansen Robotics, most advanced human-like robot. Sophia personifies our dreams for the future of AI. Not whose dreams? That sounds like nightmares. As a unique combination of science, engineering, and artistry, Sophia is simultaneously a human-crafted science fiction character depicting the future of AI and robotics in a platform for advanced robotics and AI research. So right there, they tell you that Sophia is simultaneously a human-crafted science fiction character depicting or acting out the future of AI and robotics as these people, the people who are programming her, who are engineering, have set forth, right? So this is their imagination. This isn't necessarily what's going to happen. And a lot of people will actually point to Sophia as this like, oh, that's so scary. Look at how like her responses are. And it's like, it literally reminds me... Yeah, it literally reminds me of a Black Mirror episode where it's like they use a cartoon character to be elected as president, and it's literally a puppet. There is someone behind there that hears the questions and is controlling the puppet. It's an animatronic that in answers, and people are wondered. They're amazed at the power of technology, or really the power of making a realistic face and putting it on nuts and bolts.
It does seem like I saw the debate where it was like Sophia and the other robot, the older male robot, and the fixed responses kept repeating. So I was thinking it just seems like two guys with like a soundboard and pre-selected responses going back and forth like Battleship, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. It says the character of Sophia captures the imagination of global audiences. She is the world's first robot citizen and the first robot innovation ambassador for United Nations Development Program. Yeah, I don't know if y'all know this, but she is literally has citizenship with in Dubai. So she is a legal person in Dubai. Sophia is also a framework for cutting-edge robotics and AI research, particularly for understanding human-robot interactions and their potential service and entertainment applications. For example, she has been used for research as a part of Loving AI project, which seeks to understand how robots can adapt to users' needs through intra- and interpersonal development. Yeah, I'm not going to read her quote. That's weird. But
yeah. What was their point? Make her a citizen.
To be forward thinking, right? Like this is eventually we're gonna have AI robots walking around and they need rights too. Almost like aliens, right?
Yeah, they need rights too. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Last thing shared from Robert. This is a little AI deep fake. For those that don't know what deepfake is that you input all this data of like a face, and then you can take that face and put it upon many different peoples. And so this is Jeremiah Skiba making one about his father, which, not gonna lie, Jeremiah, is kind of weird, bro, that you would do that. But at the same time, I get the entertainment. It is kind of funny. So, anyways, let's check this out.
Yes, my dad was that much of a badass, for sure.
Now, there is obviously an uncanny valley going on here, right? Where you can see something is different. Part of that is you've already seen, and most of you have already seen these moments, and so you see the error, the difference, the change from what you remember. But it is pretty interesting that they have the power to do something like this. And I have another video I'm going to show where it's kind of it kind of goes into the dark side of how crazy this technology could be used in our world. But let's keep pushing. All right. So yeah, a little bit of that. Go check out Skiba News Nation. It's Rob Skiba's son, his show. Yeah, go check it out. Sweet. All right. So, go ahead.
On that deep fake stuff now, I don't know if you're not going to do the Arnold one. I know it's got that song on there and all that. But some of those deep fake is like they're done in jest and comical like. But someone can easily take that and make it so real that you believe that you're seeing what you're seeing, but it's totally faked. I mean, it could be like a president or whoever, right?
I think that's such a great point. Let me show this video real quick. This one right here. It's talking exactly what you're talking about. Let's check this out.
Russian President Vladimir Putin recently did an interview with an AI-generated version of himself. Check this out.
Здравствуйте. Я студент и учусь в Санкт-Петербургском государственном университете. Хочу спросить, правда ли, что у вас много двойников? И еще, как вы относитесь к тем опасностям, которые несет в нашу жизнь искусственный интеллект и нейросети? Спасибо.
Не представился.
So does anyone know which one is actually Putin?
I would say the one on the left.
I say they're right.
I have no idea. But what my point is like they're showing us this, and I don't know which one of these is the fake and which one isn't.
Yeah,
and
these people are never going to die because they can just come up with a CGI generated image of a person, and we would never know.
Well, and it also thinks about
they're gonna have control forever, and we'll never know if they're in control, if they're alive, or what. I mean, so just enjoy the ride, I guess.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fake everywhere you go, man.
And think about this, like with them trying to connect everything, right? Have it ran by an AI system. Like think about like they have, live, CCTVs, right? Security cameras. What if they can record like with the AI background, like what they're recording actually has the deep fake on it. So they have you in that parking lot that you weren't at, but the AI, it kind of reminds me of Eagle Eye, if anyone has seen that movie, where there's this system where it's getting all these people to do all these various things, which seems random, but they're trying to cause an action to happen. It's so interesting. What were you gonna say, Kyle?
Yeah, oh, go ahead.
Oh no, you're good, Frankie.
Yeah, they can easily frame you and put you in a place where you're not. Just use a CGI.
Minority. That's what I was thinking. Sorry, I just wanted to say that. Reminds me of Minority Report, like pre-crime and not to mention, like Frankie said, is they could literally stage anything and it doesn't even have to happen. Who knows if a school, what happens, or if a big, bang bang happens and people see some video, who knows anymore how much of anything.
Well, and we've kind of talked about that in the conspiracy realm, is like, well, I need video proof. Like there's no video. Well, here very soon they're going to be able to have video, right? And it's going to be coming from a quote unquote official source, and they're going to have the facts, quote unquote. So yeah, very interesting, kind of kind of disturbing that you can't tell who is who, whether this one is AI or that one's AI. And that's with a world leader, you know? So Mr. Sleepy Joe wins another election, it could never even be him, like Frankie was kind of saying. So very interesting. All right, let's keep trucking.
Exactly, and Putin could declare war on the whole world and not actually do it. And it could be AI, and all the sheep would believe it and think World War III is starting, and then they could start World War III if they wanted to.
Oh yeah.
And they, dude, they could blow up cities, and the city not even be blown up, but the news shows a city being destroyed, and we're thinking over here in America, oh my God, there it goes. They're fighting when they're actually not fighting.
Yeah. There's so many ways they can spin that.
PSYOP. Yeah, serious PSYOPs.
All right, let's check out this. This was shared by Marsha. Let's check. This is Orwellian Times by Headlines with a Voice.
With tomorrow's news today, this is Headlines with a Voice.
Japan's national police are set to embark upon an experiment involving using advanced AI-powered security cameras to preempt major crimes. These AI-enhanced cameras will specialize in machine learning pattern recognition across 3 distinct categories: behavior detection for spotting suspicious conduct, object detection for identifying weapons, and intrusion detection to safeguard restricted areas. This initiative is expected to roll out within this fiscal year, ending March 2024, after the shocking assassination of former Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe and the subsequent attempted attack on the current Prime Minister Fumio Kishida. Such high-profile crimes, often committed by so-called lone offenders, individuals disassociated from society, have prompted Japan's police to explore crime prevention strategies. Proponents assert that the AI's behavior detection algorithm can learn by observing patterns indicative of suspicious activities, such as repetitive, anxious glances. Previous attempted AI-aided security has honed in on behaviors like restlessness and fidgeting, which may indicate unease or guilt. This is a worrying leap forward in what is possible for modern security agencies. Now, the Chinese model has gone global. Now, a new generation of technology is delving into the vast pool of data gathered from daily activities, aiming to predict crimes and protests before they even occur. However, these predictive systems aren't just targeting those with a criminal record, they're also used to identify vulnerable groups, including ethnic minorities and individuals with a history of mental illness. This cutting-edge technology relies on algorithms.
Let's pause on that real quick. If you heard what it said, it was saying it basically can learn through human interaction and human kind of signals that someone is going to have a mental health crisis. How like what a definitely with all the propaganda and narratives we've been fed over, you know, definitely in America for the past couple decades, how quickly people will be like, well, yeah, wouldn't this be better to have this AI figure out people who are going to do horrible things before they do it, and we can just have the AI flag their behavior through the cameras, through their phones, through their whatever, to be able to kind of pre-crime minority report, figure out people are going to do stuff before they do. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Algorithms that sift through data, seeking patterns and deviations that could indicate potential threats. While these algorithms are anathema to the West, they're being heralded as triumphs in China. Reports detail instances where the technology flags suspicious behavior, leading to investigations and uncovering fraud and pyramid schemes. However, these technologies extend far beyond surveillance. They're a powerful weapon for a society seeking to maintain near total social control over the populace. China's focus on maintaining social ability is unwavering, and any perceived threat to it is aggressively silenced. Under the administration of President Xi Jinping, the security state has become more centralized, deploying technology to quell unrest, enforce strict lockdowns, and curb dissent. Unfortunately, China appears to be the model for leaders like Justin Trudeau and others. Described as a groundbreaking innovation by the Times in 2011, predictive policing has been quietly rolled out across the United States. Numerous police departments in the country are experimenting with predictive software, envisioning the future where law enforcement could foresee and thwart crimes before they unfold. Developers tout this technology as a means to eliminate human bias, enhance the precision of policing.
It sounds like what they're trying to do is different than what they're, propagating that they want to do. That, they always do these things where they make it a moral issue where if you disagree with them, why would you not want a computer to figure out who's doing the crimes? Like, what you're okay with it, and you can say, well, yeah, people will always do crimes, people will always commit murders. You can't ban the iron rod, right? You can't make it impossible for people to commit atrocities or murders or thefts or whatever. And so they're using this as kind of a, why wouldn't you want them to do this? It'd make it safer for your children. It's for the children. Let's finish.
Yeah,
up.
I mean, they could come up with, a million excuses or a million justifications and reasons for why this technology could benefit in the present, but it's never where it starts. It's always where it ends up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it could be used to help people, but it always ends up being used to be tyrannical over them.
Yeah, just like the internet, right? And we can see all the positive qualities. And that's why I say, AI isn't all bad, right? It really isn't. To make that kind of certain statement that everything that AI does is bad, that would be incorrect in my opinion. It's a tool where you can use it for good or evil, right? You can take a shovel and create tons of food and give it away to poor people. You could use that shovel to hit someone upside the head. And so I don't think and I think there will be benefits, right? We're going to kind of look at this one here in a second from another video that Marsha shared, where AI is kind of unraveling some of their lies and deceptions. So we're almost using, their systems against them. So let's finish this video, and then we'll actually jump over to that to kind of tie it in.
And optimize resource allocation. This approach gained momentum with substantial federal grants directed towards smart policing solutions. The LAPD, led by Police Chief William Bratton, spearheaded one of the initial trials in 2009 with $3 million in federal funding. The goal was to predict crime-prone areas and deploy officers preemptively to deter criminal activities. The involvement...
Marsha, I'm hearing echo in the background, sister. Just hit the mute on the...
Still hear it?
Yeah, I still hear you. I'll play and see if I still hear it.
And of respected figures like Bratton lent credibility to the technology, leading to its adoption by other departments nationwide. By 2014, a survey revealed that 38% of the 200 surveyed departments were using predictive policing, and 70% were planning to implement it in the coming years. Using data to find high crime areas and deploy more resources is a reasonable use of data. However, with the rapid advancements of AI technology and the universal tracking of devices, how long before the regime turns this pre-crime tech loose on the populace? We're going to have to grapple with these questions because the AI is quickly reaching Black Mirror levels of surveillance. For Headlines with a Voice, this...
It's funny that they mentioned Black Mirror because it's so true, and I think Black Mirror is just another way to propagate that information and get it, inception into people's minds. But yeah, technology, has helped us too, and this will show you right here. AI says moon landing photos are fake. I'm gonna skip a little ahead.
Space Agency says that the Apollo moon landings were fake. And in a recent video going around, Vladimir Putin is briefed that several moon landing images are considered to be fake by artificial intelligence.
То есть почти все объекты на этом фото ей кажутся ненастоящими. В то же время вот фотография китайского лунохода у нее особенных вопросов не вызывает.
А это то, что кажется ненастоящим?
Да.
There's a great deal of human intelligence who do not believe that the Apollo moon missions were authentic. And here are some of the reasons why. NASA was run by former Nazi Werner von Braun, who was beholden to the US government for secretly importing him into the country via Project Paperclip, as were the dozens of other Nazis who joined him to work as rocket scientists, all of them with a good reason to keep a secret. And the overwhelming majority of astronauts were Freemasons and the sons of Freemasons. Freemasons swear on their lives to keep the secrets they are entrusted with. Why on earth would anyone trust NASA? If the moon landing was real, it would have been a miraculous achievement because NASA was failing at every level of the mission and did not believe they would be able to achieve their goal. In 1967, government inspector Thomas Barron testified before congressional investigators that the Apollo program was failing. 6 days after his testimony, he was killed with his wife and child when a train crashed into his car. Astronaut Gus Grissom held an unauthorized press conference where he criticized the program and said it would take another 10 years to fly to the moon. 5 days later, he was killed on the job. Gus Grissom's last words were, "How are we going to get to the moon if we can't talk between 2 or 3 buildings?" Moments later, the Apollo 1 command module caught fire, killing astronauts Grissom, White, and Chaffee. Several key members of the Apollo mission resigned just months before the mission. What several problems to solve. Problems with communications, the rockets, and the lunar module. But one of their biggest obstacles was deadly radiation. In order to reach the moon, one has to pass through what is known as the Van Allen radiation belt. And NASA announced in 2014 that this was still a problem when they launched an unmanned spacecraft to...
What was that, Kyle?
I said, but they didn't discover that yet, so it didn't affect them.
Yeah, yeah. So this is getting more into just the things I really wanted to show, that just that part with Putin. And I actually think I have another one. Another one. Is it this one? No, maybe I didn't. But yeah, sure enough. And real quick with that video of with Putin or whatever talking about the AI, a lot of people are like, well, yeah, that's Russian AI. Of course it's going to know that. They did that with Google AI. So Google AI recently came out and, kind of as a competition to ChatGPT. And sure enough, guys, oh, my camera's not on. And sure enough, it's Google is who is the AI that was used for those videos. So do y'all want me to keep playing that video? I didn't get rid of it, did I? I think I accidentally did. All right, give me a second to... I will finish that video since y'all were enjoying it. Which one? Where was it? This one. Okay, it's going really slow. I'm gonna turn my camera off because that's probably what it's doing. Probably go faster. Okay, not this one. think it was this one. Yeah. All right, sorry everyone. It's taking a second for it to load. But okay, real quick while that's loading, let's jump over here. So I'm gonna throw this. I don't know if it's gonna be able to share that way. One of Kyle, you have that open. Will you copy paste that link into chat for everyone? It's under Marsha's. It says Karen C did this. Will you, if you would please?
Yeah, I can do that.
But just to kind of go over it real quick, it's talking about signs, symbols. It shows the Hebrews through the concordances and talks about the definitions of these words. It shows, you know, symbols and connections to all of that. Talks about the stars, the etymology, the different gods, and how they're all connected to you know, to what we're talking about here with our modern technology, our modern science, etc. So did you find that link?
Yeah, I accidentally copied the wrong part of it, and I'm gonna repost it here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's gonna.
It keeps popping up as attachments for some reason.
Here, wait. I think I need to make you. Let me do that real quick. Give me 1 second before you try. Dang it! I gotta make that big. Pardon me, everyone. Just give me a few moments. All right, now see if it'll let you.
Am I doing it in the Discord chat?
No, sorry, in YouTube.
In YouTube, okay. No, that's not gonna. Okay, hold on. Yeah.
Okay.
For some reason.
It won't let you.
It won't
copy.
copy.
Let's see. I'm gonna click that and see if it pulls it up. Yeah, that link that you posted works.
Oh, did it? Okay.
Yeah. So there you go. Go check that out. Shout out to Karen C for putting this together and doing the research to share with us all. But yeah, let's go back to that video.
Grissom.
And keep going.
Solve problems with communications, the rockets, and the lunar module. But one of their biggest obstacles was deadly radiation. In order to reach the moon, one has to pass through what is known as the Van Allen radiation belt. And NASA announced in 2014 that this was still a problem when they launched an unmanned spacecraft to try to solve it.
Radiation like this could harm the guidance systems, onboard computers, or other electronics on Orion. Naturally, we have to pass through this danger zone twice, once up and once back. But Orion has protection. Shielding will be put to the test as the vehicle cuts through the waves of radiation. Sensors aboard will record radiation levels for scientists to study. We must solve these challenges before we send people through this region of space.
Aside from the Apollo moon missions, no one has ever gone past the Van Allen radiation belt. The Apollo moon mission had no protection against the radiation, and astronauts don't even seem to know about it.
Any ill effects from the Van Allen radiation belts?
No. Now, I'm not sure we went far enough out to encounter the Van Allen radiation belt. Maybe we did.
The belts are 1,000 miles to 25,000 miles above the Earth.
Then we went right out through them.
According to NASA, we can go no higher than low Earth orbit.
Plan that NASA has is to build a rocket called SLS, which is a heavy lift rocket. It's something that is much bigger than what we have today, and it will be able to launch the Orion capsule with humans on board, as well as landers or other components to destinations beyond Earth orbit. Right now, we only can fly in Earth orbit. That's the farthest that we can go. And this new system that we're building is going to allow us to go beyond and hopefully take humans into the solar system to explore. So the moon, Mars, asteroids, there's a lot of destinations that we could go to.
In the documentary film, a funny thing happened on the way to the moon.
This deepfake video shows how terrifying AI is.
I am not Morgan Freeman. What you see is not real. What if I were to tell you that I am not even a human being? Would you believe me? I would like to welcome you to the era of synthetic reality.
This deepfake.
Oh, y'all lost my sound. I apologize for that. My sound was muted. But yeah, you just did y'all lose all sound?
Yes.
Okay, is it better now? Is it working now?
Big video shows how terrifying AI is.
I am not Morgan Freeman. What you see is not real. What if I were to tell you that I am not even a human being? Would you believe me? I would like to welcome you to the era of synthetic reality.
That's mind-boggling. All right, let's check out what else we got.
Kde postoupil do druhé.
That's not a real robot. There's no way.
No, this is artificially intelligent. What
Oh no, so
AI
this
created. Yeah, the AI created this overlay.
of the robot on top of the human, which is crazy because you can kind of see it in the reflection on the ground. But that it's a person as opposed to this robot because the shadows don't match up perfectly.
Right. I didn't know
But that's pretty intense. How good that looks.
Whoever's playing ping pong, that dude is really good though.
Yeah, it's a Chinese
look at
dude.
This one move he does. Look at it. Look at this next move right here, behind his back. Look at that.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Let's see what this guy says.
Leaders
Yeah, this is the other video. Let's watch this real quick.
of that time with the whole space race thing. So around the 60s and stuff like that. So basically, you know, this new leader who is running the country now, he probably, you know, it's not for sure that he even knew about this stuff. Everyone just assumed that, you know, we beat them to the moon and no one ever thought to question it. But, you know, that questioning of getting to the moon was around before I even heard about flat earth, really. So, you know, that's like the first step. And I don't know what's going to come of this, because really all these leaders across the world who have signed on to the Antarctic Treaty, you know, they're not to be trusted, really.
I agree.
In my opinion. So they're all in on it as far as I'm concerned. Some might not know why we can't go to Antarctica. Some might not have even bothered to question anything about the moon before. So it's not clear how much they actually know, because really it's kind of like a small amount of people that would have actually known about all of this information when it comes to the earth and the moon and stuff like that. It's just really a small group of people. Everyone's like, oh, so everyone's lying to us. No, that's not the case. Everyone's not lying to us because they just don't know as well. They might be in positions of leadership and authority, but that doesn't mean they know about this type of information. So stay tuned as more information becomes available. I'm going to be
I'd like to see, now that this has kind of been out in the public of Putin seeing this and seeing these claims made, if there'll be kind of any follow-up to that about this, or if they're going to start doing this with more, right? Because how many pictures, like looking back at it, guys, they've had Photoshop for way longer than we think. And even before Photoshop, you know, they were literally cutting out pictures and putting them on backgrounds, and they were very skilled at
cutting film.
Mm-hmm.
Cutting parts of film and making fictitious double layered, you know, photographs to act like they're seeing something they're not.
Yeah.
Early Photoshop, I guess.
Oh yeah. Which is what Photoshop is basically based off. That's how Photoshop works, is it's layers on layers.
Yep.
So,
exactly.
All right, let's see. This one's kind of long. All right, we'll play this for a little bit, and then all the other stuff we're going to have to skip because there's just too much and we don't have enough time. Oh, I want to play that one, though. Let's play that one real quick, and then we will end it with this this last video. And we've kind of seen Elon talk about this, right, with his whole Neuralink. But yeah, let's check. This is Fox News.
Scientists in Australia have received a massive military grant to fuse human brain cells with AI. One scientist involved saying the project, quote, merges the fields of artificial intelligence and synthetic biology to create programmable biological computing platforms. Sultan Megji is an AI expert and professor at Duke University. He joins me now. Listen, this is incredibly important work, I'm sure. It's also scary to someone like me. I didn't know you could grow brain cells. I did not know you could grow brain cells, and they apparently could play the game, a ping pong computer game. So explain to me what this is.
Well, it's an interesting area, right? And it's something that we've been working on for decades now.
Decades.
For so many years, we've been trying to get artificial intelligence to mimic the human brain, which is the best computer out there.
Yeah.
And this is a great next step. But what really it's trying to do is two things. One is to help us make better hardware so that the computers that are running our AI systems today are faster, more reliable, easier, cheaper, things like that. And then the second is to actually make the AI systems behave more like humans, to have smarter intelligence, because we're really at this issue where AI systems don't really know how to learn as well as a human brain does.
I want to stay on this for a second. These programmable brain cells, are they carbon-based biological matter? Is that really what this is?
Well, you've got a couple of different versions of it, but yeah, in some cases you have a model, so they have a computer chip that mimics how a human brain operates, so that's kind of the more silicon side of things. And then in some cases you have actual biological cells that, look not too dissimilar from a human or a pig, sometimes they use, that are just there to
I just want to note that out real quick. He said sometimes pigs, and the whole research that Elon Musk is doing with Neuralink is within pigs, and that's so interesting, right? Because I like to bring up the fact that when Legion is called out of the man in the graveyard, they request to go to pigs, and the father could have had a herd of llamas, could have had a flock of hyenas, it could have had a sleuth of bears. But that's not what the father chose, what creatures to be there. They were pigs, and it's very interesting that they're using pig biology, organic material in testing this. I think there's obviously a connection there.
Mm-hmm. They've been doing that for a long time, as far as using pigs to test things on people, as far as being being able to guinea pig something. But I do find it interesting. Swine, even throughout Scripture, it's the animal that God has to specifically go, even though this one chews the cud, even though this one's hoof is split, it'll be unclean to you.
Mm-hmm. Do pigs chew the cud? I don't think they do.
Let's see.
I may be wrong, but I don't want to get stopped up on that. But
they don't chew the cud. I don't believe they got split hooves.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, let's finish this and we'll watch that last
a human
one.
Brain cell does, and then the electrical signal that comes out controls other computers.
That's insane. Sweet. All right. So last video, and then we will call it a night. We're not going to watch this whole thing.
To artificial intelligence that not many are willing to talk about. Imagine a world where every decision, every move, and every thought is influenced by an invisible force, smarter than any human and shrouded in mystery. Welcome to the shocking future of dark AI, a realm where artificial intelligence operates beyond our understanding and control. But what exactly is dark AI, and why does it hold such a formidable place in our future? By the end of this video, you'll uncover the hidden dimensions of this enigmatic technology and its potential to redefine our world. Let's start. What is dark AI in simple terms? Dark AI in simple terms refers to the use of artificial intelligence, or AI, for malicious or unethical purposes. Just like AI can be used to do helpful things like powering smart assistants or analyzing data for research, Dark AI is when these powerful technologies are used for harmful activities. Think of it like a tool.
So besides this video, isn't it interesting within the world of AI? The bad that AI is depicted is that it's its own robot and it starts to try to enslave humans. But does anyone ever really give thought that, you know, the Mexican cartels could use this to, like, what's the best route, you know, taking into account the route, the routes and positions of the Border Patrol to get this package through? You know, like, how many ways that this could be used as dark AI, but no one ever really focuses on that. No one ever really talks about the dark aspects of the way that AI could be used by just, let's call them normal people in our society. And, you know, it does get a little scary, a little daunting of this stuff that's, you know, coming. But that's why we have to be focused and have a foundation on the Father, because we got to wrap it up, guys. It's at that time, but I'm gonna post this video in the thing for y'all to check out if y'all want to finish this video. But even though there's all these dark aspects and there's all of this, you know, kind of how do I say this? All the speculation of things that can come in positive and negatives of AI. I think, again, to have that foundation of truth through Scripture is so important, guys. We know that the evil one is work. We know they're in, you know, dark rooms behind closed doors making these plans and having these. But again, we see how the Father, you know, interjects in how he uses even the most evil ideas and actions for his glory, for his good. And so we really should lean into that and lean into the Father's you know, to the realization that the Father does control all the things and wills those things to happen for his glory. So yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed it. We're gonna go ahead and say our goodbyes and call it another stream. We're glad to be back. We'll be back next week. I will be posting that tomorrow of our next episode. And yeah, so let's go ahead and go through. We'll say our goodbyes and we'll skedaddle. We'll start with you, Maggie, if you'd like to say your goodbyes.
Well, goodbye, if anyone can hear me. Hopefully they can.
We can. We heard you that time.
I enjoyed it. Thank you for having me on.
Oh, our pleasure. We always love to have you, sister. We'll jump over to you, Marcia. A little closing statement and your goodbyes. You're muted. You're muted. She's going crazy. Marcia.
Big things going on. Goodbye, everybody. All that for that. And maybe I should do this. Should I pull it off?
No, leave it alone.
We got a new theme where we'll have a new wig for Marcia.
We'll have a new wig each week. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned, and then we'll make a compilation of all her different wigs. Sweet. All right, we'll jump over to you, Kyle, if you'd like.
Marcia coming soon.
We'll jump over.
Blue Marcia.
We'll jump over to.
It could be Garth.
Oh, go ahead.
It could be Garth's sister. Wayne and Garth.
Totally excellent.
Party on.
Party on. Sweet. We'll jump over to Kyle if you'd like to give a brief kind of closing and then your goodbyes.
Yeah. Shalom, everyone. This topic isn't something on the forefront of everyone's minds, considering it's something fairly recent that's ever even kind of existed to this degree that we understand it now. Mm-hmm. So I think it's also, even though that's the case, I think it's important we become, familiar with it and aware of what it's capable of doing, because it's not going anywhere. Nope. It's just progressing and getting better. Yep. So with that, we have to live with it to some degree, and we can fight against it to some degree, I guess. But there is a level where this stuff will just be in our lives, and there's nothing we can do about it.
Yep.
But we shouldn't fear. God's got us. We're all good.
Absolutely.
Not to fear, but we are going to have to deal with it.
Yep. Amen to that. All right, and we got Frankie B. closing statement and your goodbye, sir.
Yeah, I want to see Marsha with short hair. What about that, huh? Yeah, there you go.
A little bob cut.
I got some short hair wigs.
We can like dress up with Marsha.
Hey, that's what I did with my granddaughters. That's why I got so many wigs. Of course, I got
wig suggestions in the comments, and then Peter will read them next broadcast. All right, yeah. I just hope everybody has a good week, and there's no reason to get upset. There's no reason to fear. We're all in covenant with the Creator. He's got us. And if we just stay focused on our purpose, walking in love, none of this will ever affect us.
Amen to that.
So just, continue to forge into your purpose, your goals for the new year, and create your own reality, because you've been given the ability to create from the Father. So have at it and have fun.
Amen.
And Shabbat Shalom, everyone, and have a blessed week.
Amen. Yeah. So again, thank you everyone for joining us tonight for another stream. About the beast system, and even though it is, like we all said, it's something that's coming, it's something we're gonna have to deal with. We have the Father, right? Like if the Father's for us, who can be against us? And so and as we see with all their different schemes, they use these technologies and often for bad intentions, but the Father turns those around and uses those to wake people up, to draw people closer and nearer to Him. And so we got to be thankful and have gratitude that He gives us those opportunities even through the darkness. So please do, like this says, share, like, comment, subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. It was so awesome to see y'all all in the chat. Shout out to Just in Time, Country Kid, Tyler Porter, our sister Wendy, our sister Sarah, I believe it is. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for the thumbs up. Comments in the video, of course, we'll read them off next week. And they do really help the channel grow. Sweet. So until next time, guys, remember that ABBA loved you first. And have a great week. Good night, everybody.
Make sure to listen to Dig Deep.
It's not. It's being weird. They can definitely not see it. I don't know what's going on with it. Give me a second, everyone. Oops, sorry. There we go. All right. Good night, everybody. Until next time, remember ABBA loved you first. Shabbat Shalom.
It's your glory, conceal the mystery. You give us the honor to search your majesty.